tea. All right, Dee.
You haven't got anything I haven't seen before, or have you? Anyway, you should have locked the door. Leanne could have wandered in.
Yeah, I thought I had locked the door. And anyway, what's Leanne doing here?
She stayed the night with our Jackie, which you would have known about if you weren't swelling the bar profits down the Legion.
Committee meeting, if you don't mind. I do have other duties apart from my comparing, you know. Hey, they're thinking about billing me as king of comedy.
Can see why.
Hey? Oh, very funny, very funny. Anyway, I thought you were going to keep out of this Leanne business.
Who says I haven't?
Good, because her getting herself up to duff is nothing to do with us. Let her parents sort it out.
Oh, Ron, you've made your point.
Hey, Mum.
Harry, what is this, Dee? Oh, wait while the Saba Vizio gets through the bathroom. Our Tony doing his hair, our Michael reading his viz. You're Derek. Oh, God knows what takes him so long. I still can't get a bath in peace.
Yeah, look, I'm sorry, Dad, but it's Leanne. She says she feels a bit, I'm sorry, Mrs. Dixon.
Oh, come in.
I'm going to be sick.
But you can't go to school like this.
Do I have to? Oh, tell her, Mum. I have to, you know I have to.
Ron?
Oh, forgive me for living, like. Fine kettle of fish, innit, eh?
Come on, sit down.
Man
Put your
can't
head
even do
between your
his
legs.
private ablutions in private. I'll never get to the shop at this rate.
I'm not convinced you should be going to school.
I'm feeling miles better now. And anyway, if I don't turn up, they might phone home to see why I'm not there. I'm feeling fine, honest.
You come straight back here if you start feeling rotten again. Do you hear?
You all right, love? Oops! Oh, hey. Okay, don't worry, I've got you. Come on, let's get you back inside.
I've got to go to school.
Not like that, you know. You go worrying about school. Better get the doctor, love. Come on, Dee, she could be... What, do you think it's a miscarriage? What's going on?
It's all right, Ron. It's not a miscarriage.
Yeah, but how do you know, love? She could be bleeding to death, or...
Ron! She had an abortion yesterday.
Oh, no. God, she's younger now, Jackie. I'd better get her home.
No!
Her mum and Dad don't know about it. They didn't even know she was pregnant.
Well, if my mum hadn't helped, and who was he was off?
You have to get an abortion. Like, get her parents on the phone. Now! Leanne's in here, coming through.
Are you all right, love? There has been a bug going round. Do you think it's that?
Tell him what's wrong with her, Dee.
Look, I realise that this might come as a shock to you, but please don't take it out on Leanne.
Take what out, tell her? What's been going on here, Mrs. Dixon?
Leanne was... She had an abortion yesterday.
What?
She's all right. It's mainly the effects of the anaesthetic. I thought it was best if she stayed with us last night.
You mean you knew last night she'd... an abortion?
Why weren't we told last night what's been going on?
We didn't even know she was pregnant. We didn't even know she had a boyfriend. So who was it, Leanne? It was just some lad. I don't see him anymore. I don't even know where he lives.
Why didn't you tell us, Leanne?
I just couldn't. I had to get rid of it. I'm old enough, I'm 16 now. I did it properly. Mrs. Dixon helped me.
You helped her get an abortion?
Well, she was desperate. She threatened to kill herself.
What have you done, Mrs. Dixon? What have you let our girl do to herself?
But if
if you knew how against it I was. For pity's sake, I'm a Catholic.
So why didn't you stop her?
Because Leanne said you'd hurt her if you found out she was pregnant.
What? Do we look as though we'd hurt her?
And how many times do you think your own kids have said that, Mrs. Dixon? Me mum will kill me, me dad'll murder me.
But the state she was in, I believed her. She convinced me that you wouldn't understand.
But we were never given the chance to, were we? Leanne is our daughter, Mrs. Dixon, and you've robbed us of the chance of being there when she needed us.
And how would you feel, eh? How would you feel if we'd helped your Jackie do something as terrible as this without you even knowing?
Well, go on, Dee. Answer the woman.
Let's get you home.
Get you to bed, eh? Where you belong.
I wish I could make you understand.
Understand? I understand you helped kill our grandchild, Mrs. Dixon.
Listen, but I don't know what to say. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I know what you think. Acting not like I said. But I didn't know how they'd react, did I?
Leanne, love.
Mrs. Powell, can I talk to you?
I don't think there's anything left to say.
Please.
You've come to apologise then, have you?
I've come to try and explain. It'd be easy to talk inside.
I want you gone before Ted gets back for his dinner.
How is Leanne?
She's fine.
Can I see her?
She's at school.
Just wanted to make sure she was all right. I got very fond of her.
Well, you've no business getting fond of her, have you? She's nothing to do with you.
Look, I realise I should have told you about Leanne's pregnancy, and you're right about that. But I couldn't just ignore what she was telling me, could I? You don't ignore someone when they threaten to kill themselves, and I know a frightened girl when I see one.
We're not monsters, Ted and me, Mrs. Dixon.
No, of course not.
So what are you accusing us of?
I'm not accusing you of anything.
I don't know how you have the nerve to come round here accusing us after what you've done.
No, honestly, I'm not accusing. I'm just trying to explain that Leanne was genuinely scared of her dad's reaction.
Scared of Ted? You're joking. He's never lifted a finger to her. Well, he's never here to discipline her, is he? He does double shifts. He's a security guard. He's on all hours. And that's half the trouble, isn't it? She's never had the discipline. You don't want to believe everything Leanne tells you, Mrs. Dixon. She lives in a fantasy world. Life always has to be some great big drama for her, and she's always got to be the star. It drives Ted mad.
It's not just the usual teenage dramatics, though, is it? Leanne was very scared. Well, she would be. A school kid gets herself pregnant. She's bound to be scared stiff. But in the end, most of them find a way of telling their parents, and Leanne honestly felt she couldn't.
Oh, I see. And you understand Leanne, do you? Well, that's clever, since you hardly know her. She's my daughter, Mrs. Dixon, and I do know her. And I can tell you now, if you hadn't come poking your nose in, organising this abortion before she'd had time to decide what she wanted to do, she would have found her own way to tell us. Eventually.
I think I better go.